Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. It's nice to be speaking with you again. I am now regretting the decision to have Human introduce me after that, but Jazakallah khairan. He made it, and the rest of the team at Khalil Center made it very easy for me in this transition, not just in the work that they do, but the moral support that they've provided and the day-to-day support that they do, doing many jobs, wearing many different hijabs, not just one, many different kufis, not just one, as we try to bring all these things together. So I'm just going to take a few minutes to share a little bit more about the numbers and how they have an effect. As Imam Zaid mentioned, we bring together what is our tradition with the best practices scientifically to do things that institutions funded well beyond what we're funded can't do. And why is that? That's because of the barakah, that's the sincere dua, the sincere support that people in this room across this country has provided, including Zakat Foundation. So I'll just go ahead to our first slide on that. And as Imam Zaid mentioned, right, not only is the federal government pulling back from the cultural and healthcare funding that it was doing, but they aren't funding the Muslim community in the first place to begin with. So we don't have federal funding like we did traditionally. And so the obligation ends up falling on our shoulders as a community, as a fard al-kifaya, to pick up this weight and help those brothers and sisters of ours that are struggling, and also to help the students who want to help and serve in this capacity, to help them to learn those skills so they can go out there and serve their community as well, right? So that takes us to training professionals with Islamic knowledge that are also licensed by the state in behavioral sciences. Now, there's something really interesting on this figure. There's a lot of numbers on this figure, but I want you to focus on the first one. The first one says that people of the age of 18 or older who are looking for mental health services or counseling, 50% of them could not receive those services because they couldn't afford it. Now I'm going to jump ahead to our slide here. And it shows what are people's payment methods, right? A large portion of that is insurance, 37%. So we're qualified on the insurance panels. They see the value of the service that we do. If anybody's dealt with health insurance, you know how hard it is to get a claim paid. They want to reject it for whatever reason, but they pay our claims because they see the value of our service that's backed by data. What I want to focus on as well is that 50% number. That 50% number is exactly the same 50% number of people that can't get mental health services because they can't afford it. That 50% is the 50% that we subsidize through your contributions, through zakat. We're 100% zakat eligible, right? And also, it's subsidized through our own sliding scale fees, right? So I'll go back to the slide before, where we talk about increasing accessibility. It's services over finances policy. We don't turn away people if they can't afford it. If they can only pay $50 a session, even though most therapists with our qualifications make triple that, we accept that 50 from them, right? And so because of that, together we share the burden with our community who help support our work, to get those 50% of people who would not be able to otherwise make it happen. Now I want to focus on this last slide a little bit to give you an idea of what has been the community's contribution. Year over year, less than 50% of our budget is met by community giving. More than 50% is met through the services that we provide, both to Islamic schools where we're on campus, providing childcare and development training, and also childcare services, as well as inpatient care at our clinic, and the grants that Human talked about. We have a full team as Director of Development. I help to manage that team, and we're building that team out over the course of the next year as we look to grow and expand in the Bay Area as well, as we also have interest in New York, in Texas, and in Michigan, and we look to make sure that the communities who are knocking down our doors for our services, we're able to meet those. We also want to do what our sister Dr. Rania spoke about. We want to provide care that's beautiful, that has ihsan, that's done at a high and professional level. And in order to do that, before we can grow exponentially, we have to make sure we have a certain level of quality of control. And that's what we're looking to do this year as we build out our institution strategically. And so at this time, I'd like to call up our beloved Sheikh Maulana Hamza to speak about our goal for this evening. We'll be sharing with you what we've been able to raise so far. And I wanted to highlight some of the projects, and I'll leave these slides up for you so you can see where the money goes on average. What it takes to treat people, what it takes to train our leadership, train our imams so they have skills when people come to them for help. And also to train our graduate level interns and to train our undergraduates who are interested in pursuing this career, to give them the skill, give them the support, give them the place to go to and turn to so we can train them, and then they can go out into the world, whether they want to work with Khalil Center or open their own practices. We're happy to open source our technology and share that with the community so everybody can benefit. Inshallah, with that, I'd like to introduce our beloved and my respected teacher and friend, Maulana Hamza Maqbool.